Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is the Papa Joe Show, where Papa Joe knows I am your host, Papa Joe, and I do appreciate you guys and gals being here today. Sorry for being a little late today. Just a lot of stuff going on. And some landscapers here doing some fun stuff, having to go back and forth with all that for a little bit. So, anyways, today we're going to take a look at some interesting information around some correlation, unfortunate correlation, the CPI information around what's going to be coming down the pipe and why everyone thinks that crypto has to follow suit and abide by this stupid CPI stuff. Why are we still listening to this stupid stuff? Anyways, yeah, the Fed, their minutes and their stuff that they're going to put out, and apparently crypto's got a up and down and up and down. Yeah, so apparently the 50-week moving average crossed the 200-week moving average, creating a crypto or Bitcoin death cross or whatever it's called. I'm not a charter, y'all. I connect dots from economic trends versus the economy or versus the crypto economy versus what's really going on and things like that. So I kind of look at the charts and go, that's can generally tell where it's going to go, but I don't do the whole fancy smanchy stuff like other people do. So I like there's a few guys that do that really well. I think Crypto Zombie is pretty good at it. What's the other guy? There's a couple of guys who do a really good job at it. But anyways, I'm going to discuss some interesting things around people recognizing the tyrannical side of CBDCs, putting that out there. I'm also going to look at a little bit of Divi news. If you haven't noticed, there is a Cointelegraph article out there about them, which is fantastic. And then, yeah, we'll see where we go. It might be a little squirrely, but y'all bear with me. We'll have fun. So, anyways, if you are new to the channel, do me a favor and give us a subscribe. We'll greatly appreciate it. Grab the bell. We do go live a few times a week. Try to get it around 12:30 during the day, and then I'd have the Patreon, and a lot of you guys are part of that, and it means a lot to me that you are, because I wouldn't be doing this without you guys doing that. So, thank you. Anyways, that's there. I try to do those twice a week, 4:30 in the afternoon, Eastern time. What that does is it gives me a space to take off the gloves, to talk about stuff that just gets most people in trouble. So, anyways, try and avoid that by keeping that there for y'all. Because those are some more sensitive topics. I'll put it that way. Anyways, let's jump into the content, shall we? It's going to be interesting stuff. Correlation between crypto market and NASDAQ turns positive ahead of US CPI release. Yeah, well, here's the deal. The Consumer Price Index has been up and down and all around. Everything has been going crazy, okay? In my personal opinion, the fact that it correlates to the NASDAQ is not a good thing. The fact that it's even being discussed as a risk asset is crazy to me. And the fact that it is still being used as a data point for the price fluctuation in crypto is frustrating. Why do we listen to these people anymore? We do not need to do that. Observers expect Tuesday's U.S. CPI report to show continued disinflation in the world's largest economy. The correlation between the crypto market and the tech-heavy NASDAQ equity index is turned positive, indicating that digital asset investors' renewed focus on risk appetite on Wall Street. In other words, most people look at crypto as a risk asset. At some point here in the near future, in my personal opinion, it will become the exit strategy to get out of the stock market. I really kind of feel that more and more coming as the dollar continues to fade in its control. I told you guys on the Patreon. I think I did. Maybe I'm thinking about doing it. Either I'm gonna do it or I already did it. Where I talked about the stuff that's taking place with BRICS, the stuff that the CBD that's backed by gold with that, and how the dollar's dead. I know I posted it on Twitter a few times, talked about it a lot actually. If you're not following my Twitter account, I highly recommend doing that. Between shows, I definitely come out and have a conversation with everyone. It's right here. Papa Joe 42. If you wanted to see that there's also my website associated to the show here, thepapajoshow.com. I need to go update the videos that are linked in there, so don't worry about those. But that gives you the ability to make sure you have my accounts. So Anyways, I digress. Come back in here. There's lots of stuff going on. I do post about a lot of different things that are not as censored on Twitter anymore, which is fantastic. It's great. Anyways, the 90-day correlation, a coefficient between the crypto market total capitalization and the NASDAQ has risen from negative 0.12 to positive 0.74 in 4 weeks, reaching as high since November. Anyways, basically they're correlating the connections between the two. All right. Please understand, guys and gals, the CPI has its effect on things like crypto, but it's not what these news publications are making it out to be. It's not what they want you to tie it to or think it is. They want you to focus on the data points that the Fed says, these different data points. They want you focused on those. Blockchain technology doesn't care about what the traditional system does. It just doesn't. And I don't understand why people think that they have to think about this stuff. It is frustrating to me. I've been in this space since almost the beginning, y'all. It doesn't care. It doesn't have to care. And you're being made to care. You see what I'm saying? You are being made to care about these types of data points that tied to the Federal Reserve and the dollar more than the data points that actually matter about Bitcoin, like the 550 a week and 200 week moving average, having what they're calling a death cross. I actually need to probably look up what that means. I'm not a chartist, guys. I don't chart. I connect things. I find the projects that I know are going to do well because they're going to solve something. So, and that's why I talk about the ones I talk about. So, something to kind of pay attention to, I guess. Don't give them your time of day. I know I'm talking about it, but I'm trying to say, hey, this doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because blockchain technology doesn't care. It just doesn't care. Tyranny of digital currencies. The tyranny, the gall, the destruction of digital currencies. Well, they're actually kind of focusing on CBDCs in this, so that's kind of interesting. Should we really be surprised that the Treasury and the Bank of England or the Federal Reserve, this is talking about the Bank of England specifically here, are exploring whether to launch a state-issued digital pound or digital currency or digital whatever? It is interesting. Where was it? I guess this particular Sarnak, this particular person was the chancellor who first floated the idea of backing a central bank digital currency already dubbed Bitcoin. Nor was he alone. 11 countries, including China, Nigeria, the Bahamas, and Jamaica, have already launched their own digital currencies. Did y'all know that? They did. Anyways, while more than 100 other countries, representing over 90%, 95% global GDP, are deciding whether to follow suit, the United States, the Federal Reserve of New York, has launched a pilot program. They did. Even though they said they didn't, they did. Anyways, the European Central Bank hopes to make a decision between the creation of the digital euro this autumn. So this fall, they're planning on making the decision. Fed now goes live, I think, June or July this year, which is, for all intents and purposes, a CBDC or a CBDC system. Anyways, one might think that amid a global cost of living crisis, which it has increased significantly, these bodies would have other more pressing concerns. The reason they have these concerns, y'all, is because they can't control the monetary supply that they printed. And they're going to collapse under the very weight that they have gone and spent. The debt is too much. They cannot do it. Basically, if the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, all these different central banks, if they go create a CBDC, what's going to end up happening is you're going to see all of the fiat currency that we have in circulation be null and void and no longer legal tender, and these new currencies will be. Thus, they will be writing off the debts of everything tied to the fiat currency. I don't see how that happens. I mean, they created out of nothing, so technically they can decide whether or not they do this or not. You know what I mean? I just don't see how all that works. But that's kind of the only path forward. You make the old stuff not usable anymore, and you tell everyone the new stuff is what you have to use. When how in the world is anyone going to trust those currencies? They're not. They're going to go to Bitcoin, Litecoin. They're going to use Ethereum. They're going to use Divi. They're going to use the Divi wallet, because the Divi wallet is, that I know of, they're the only wallet out there that lets you buy, sell, hold immediate custody. Those are almost done, by the way, from what I understand. All that plumbing is being tested and worked through, and they're making sure it's right before they let everyone have it. Once all that's done, they'll be able to continue to barrel through all their other stuff. The DeFi platform they just launched, oh my goodness. And that roadmap inside the DeFi, so they have a roadmap of the different pillars. Under the DeFi roadmap, there's another, oh my goodness. It is just like, that's going to be good. They're doing some stuff no one thought of, and they're moving forward with it. It's great. It's great. Anyways. Oh, where was I? They pointed something out in here I really wanted to bring up, and I don't remember where it was. To understand the sudden rush towards digital currencies, let's begin with the notion of digital money. Yeah, it's flashy, and that may sound, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. In fact, fiat currencies are already digital. They are. They have been for a long time. 95% of the money in circulation is electronic. Credit cards, debit cards, everything. Very few people use cash, and nobody uses a check anymore. I don't even think if I actually kind of want to try it and see if it will work. Walk to the grocery store, check out, let them check everything out, and then pull out my checkbook and say, "So, how much was it again?" And just see what they do. They probably, and even that's electronic money. All it is it takes your account information and then debits your account, which is what a debit card does. Technically speaking, I just laughing. I just don't think they would be able to even, they wouldn't even know what a check was or even how to use it. Anyways, I am dating myself, which is kind of crazy. But anyhow, 85% of the transactions are made electronically at a bank account. 95% of it's already digital. It's already digital. It's not going to be any different, except they're going to, I guess, use a blockchain, which gives them programmability over the money, which gives them the ability to have a tyrannical monetary system. Do you see why this is important to pay attention to, and why I say CBDCs are not your friend? You guys have a very small window to get your fiat out of the bank and into crypto before you can't, because they're going to block it. CBDCs, they're not going to let you interact. It's not going to have interoperability with Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum or Divi or whatever else. HBAR. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there. And HBAR, Hedera, I haven't looked into them in a while. I met with them once. Sorry, it's going to be a squirrely day. I told you off the bat. I met with them once. They're pretty smart people. They really are. Their protocol, as far as digital ledger technology is concerned, is pretty interesting. Anyways, okay, kind of what I just kind of said to here, where a CBDC would change things, however, is that digital money would be created directly by the central bank. It already is, as opposed to commercial banks. So that's also true. So they would both be. So I think that this is a misleading statement simply in this particular article, because they already do. Central bank creates money. They do. Anyways, instead, when people hear the words money creation or money printing, they tend to think central banks and quantitative easing. But most digital money held at our banks' accounts is actually created by commercial banks. It is, in fact. We tend to assume that banks collect deposits from users or savers and lend them to borrowers. That's not how they do it anymore, y'all. It on paper it is, but that's gone. So back during the hunger disease, they took all the restrictions away from the banks. So the on reserve or reserve amount used to be 10%. So they could lend out 90% of the money you put in. Actually, it was like 190%. But anyways, per dollar. So they had to keep your 10% of what you deposited, and they could loan out that 90%, basically. No, it wasn't the other. It was the other way around. they could create money of up to 90% more. So if you put $100 in, they could create $900 out of your $100. So, anyways, I digress. It's been a little bit since I've looked at that. Anyways, so the point here is that the commercial banks, they already did to do all this stuff. Well, now you go get a loan or you go withdraw money. Well, the cash has to be there, and that's very hard to withdraw. But if you go get a loan, they just type it into the computer and boom, you got it. There's no tied to that. Now they don't have to keep anything on hand anymore. So now they have no restrictions. Now there's not a point in the depositors of any kind that doesn't matter anymore. They can just arbitrarily on a whim create money. It's great, isn't it? Our banking system. So they created all this money and now they're underneath the debt that they've created. But there is shining hope for those of us who I've been trying to tell people. And the reason I love this project so very much is because they're making crypto easy for people. They're making it so that way the average everyday people can get the wallet on their phone or their computer if they so chose, and have all of the regular facets and features that they are kind of basically used to inside of their bank account at their fingertips. And they're making it as easy as possible for people to use. And it is actually pretty impressive to see what's happening. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. I have not seen in the time that I've been in the crypto space, which has been almost since the beginning, I've seen very few projects build the foundation that they're building. And when I say that, I genuinely mean that. And I've told them to their faces, like, this is a legit project, guys. They're solving problems that no one's thought to solve, right? It's actually really, really impressive. So that's the Divi project, okay? I have seen, like I said, very few projects actually have successfully produced a foundation and a platform that has been as strong of a foundation as this. And every time I've seen those, there's always this lull. If you go back and look at the charts, there's always a lull in the price. Then all of a sudden you see a spike because they actually have a foundation that can be supporting that type of liquidity, that kind of interest, that kind of throughput. Here's how one company is solving DeFi's issues through easy onboarding and cross-chain staking. The cross-chain staking is impressive. You could be staking your coins and, if I'm not mistaken, be using it for inside of DeFi at the same time. It's kind of cool stuff. I could be wrong on that. I haven't played with it enough to remember to even. But anyways, DeFi is growing fast, but it has to focus on making onboarding and earning yield easy to achieve mass adoption. Their DeFi platform that they are creating is one like I haven't seen. The wallet is like I haven't seen. The purchasing, I did test it out before they changed the on-off ramp. They're almost done doing it. It's pretty cool. You buy and you self-custody immediately. There's no one else out there that I know that I've seen that does that. Decentralized finance, or DeFi, was established to transform financial services so that anyone, no matter where they live or their status, can enjoy the benefits of financial sovereignty, which is going to become a big deal, especially with CBDCs and the tyrannical nature of it. Okay? Financial sovereignty. Remember that. However, before it can achieve its mission, it must first tackle the complexity that deters millions of potential newcomers from using DeFi protocols. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's one of the really, really cool parts about the Divi project. They're actually solving these problems, making it simple, easy for people to use and enjoy. One critical problem is the poor user experience and complicated interfaces that plague onboarding and make services inaccessible to the mainstream audience. And they take those barriers away. Guys, I'm telling y'all, Divi's making it so that everyone can do this. It's not as simple as Doing these types of things isn't as simple as Divi's making it. Divi is making it. Here you go. They're just handing it to you. It's great. Onboarding and usability are key areas that hinder mass adoption. It really, really is, y'all. And I know firsthand in the technical space that if you're trying to roll out a new technology inside of a business or inside of society or whatever, and it's not easy for them to use, similar, familiar in any way, they won't adopt it. They will eventually, but they won't just, take to it like fish to water. Cue the Divi project. They're actually building the stuff that's needed. Even without the KYC, know your customer requirements, DeFi multi-step onboarding process puts services out of reach for most people. Wallet creation and the need to purchase crypto assets to load up the wallets make non-native users more hesitant to dive into valuable services such as lending, trading, and yield farming. How to simplify the user experience to DeFi. DeFi is pretty cool. It makes a lot of sense. I want to make some money on my money rather than lending it to a bank. I can lend it directly to a specific user, have a set return that comes back. Great. Problem solved. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Decentralized finance. Kind of the way it works. While active crypto market participants are well served, the key challenge is attracting those who are not yet into cryptocurrencies. It's very, very important. The second generation of DeFi applications should pay special attention to user experience and work on converting all technical aspects of it to easy to use process. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. We are doing this live. There's no editing. The PAPAJO show. Anyhow, goodness gracious. Talking to Nick, they want to push the blockchain into the background so you don't know that it's there. That is the coolest part about the Divi project, guys. One example of the disruptive potential of simplifying the user experience is the transition from commercial line interface command line interface (CLI) of old computers and graphics user to the graphical user interface, or the GUI or GUI of modern machines. First proposed by the Xerox PARC team and later promoted by Steve Jobs and his team at Apple in the 80s, the desktop and mouse completely revolutionized computers, making them easy for everyone to use based on all the tricky processes were hidden and managed through an interactive interface. They're pushing all the technical to the background. That's why Divi is going to do so good. No one else is doing that. Everyone else is still very clunky. There's this bucket, there's this bucket, there's this bucket. There's nothing like this, guys. There's just not. A similar approach should be implemented by DeFi protocols, offering a general public a seamless experience developed at the click of a button that hides the technical interactions. Beautiful stuff, I'm telling you. Some DeFi projects are already developing user-friendly applications to boost crypto adoption. One of the most relevant examples is Divi, a yield-generating DeFi protocol that is working on adding support for token swaps, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, cross-chain interoperability, and other features to become one-stop DeFi solution. Divi has the proprietary proof of stake, or POS blockchain and a native token Divi that can be staked by users, but what sets this project apart is its focus on user experience. The Divi DeFi protocol has been engineered for the mainstream user, implementing a range of technical ease of use and earning innovations to solve the issues of liquidity, usability, and sustainability that have plagued the market since its inception. With Divi, the onboarding process is made easy. Users can take advantage of an intuitive interface, which is also the approach Divi took by creating their non-custodial wallet. solution, the Divi wallet. In other words, it is self-custody. Users can send tokens without having to understand the complex features behind the wallet, such as staking vaults, POS transactions, proof of stake transactions, mobile masternodes, which is incredible. Who's done that on a mobile device? No one. Divi did. It was private key security, etc. To send crypto wallet owners can tap their friend's username, phone number, or email address instead of focusing on the addresses. Yeah, they did that. If you're a Divi user and you have a Divi username like Twitter and you want to send someone Divi, what's your username? What's your email address? PayPal. Which phone number? And then you can send crypto. There's no one else has done that. Anyways, besides the wallet, Divi has managed to scale its staking process by simplifying node creation. Divi nodes are powered by proprietary patented mobile technology, enabling users to deploy a node on the cloud within seconds of self-custodial function. And you don't even see that part, which is incredible. It's incredible. Anyways, much more to read there. Y'all go check that out. It's really, really good stuff. Divi is not a joke. Don't sleep on Divi. Not financial advice, y'all. Do your research, whatever you want to call it. Divi is a platform you really need to pay attention to. Anyhow, let's continue, shall we? Let's take a look at what's going on in the crypto markets. Bitcoin looks like it's trying to come back after all the crazy. Let's just go reset. There we go. It dipped down. We'll see if it runs, y'all. It might. Apparently, it's crossed the averages. I don't know how to put those on here. Dow's up. Bitcoin's down. They're switched. Wait, the Nasdaq's up. Bitcoin's down. S&P 500's up. Bitcoin's down. Correlation. Interesting. Gold is down. Silver's down. Divi is also down. It looks like a. Oh wait, this is the day chart. That's one heck of a wick. Holy moly. Interesting stuff. Let's see what else is here. What else we got? Matic. It's also getting some action down there. Let's see what we got. Axi's been pushed. That is one crazy spike. Wow. Anyways, mortgage rates are up again. And let's see what else we got here. The Dixie is up a little bit, so that's probably correlating with Bitcoin's down. But anyhow, I don't know what I'm talking about with all that stuff. I'm just looking at trying to connect dots, right? Listen, y'all, there's a lot going on in the world. I don't know, there's a lot of things people would wanted me to talk about. Let's go and we'll talk about that on the Patreon. In other words, some of the stuff that's been transpiring over the past few days of things being shot out of the sky, that kind of stuff. We'll talk about that later. Just remember to stay focused, okay? Stay focused. Just stay focused. Stay focused. All right, let's run through and say hey to everyone. We got Mr. UI Fang. What's going on, brother? Thanks for being part of the show today. Lithia, you as well. Thanks for being here as always. We've got Bitcoin Bull in the house. What's up, man? I don't know what you're asking, but yep. Welcome, brother. Good to see you. We've got Tom. What's going on, man? Thanks for being here. We got Kim. How's it going? Good afternoon. Good morning. Who else is here today? You explain it there. And there you go. Yeah, that would be everybody. Everybody. Me. I don't care. Anyways, let's see who else we got here today. We got Larry Stevens. How's it going? Thanks for being part of the show today. As always, appreciate it. If you're watching live, pop in the chat. I love it. I love having you all here. I have the hiccups. Bitcoin Bull, bring this up here. Talk about all the bad coins. I'm going to be very careful because the kids do watch this. Nothing is worse than a CBDC. Nevertheless, it's easier for normies to live in it than it to pay actual attention to something that is going that was fed through the TV. Yes, sir. It is. It is. Welcome, Daddy O. How's it going? I appreciate you being here today, as always. That was not fed through the TV. I meant. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. No worries. No worries. Tom, we've been freezing in Texas over the states, not many driving, and oil is up to 80.50 a barrel. Yeah, buddy. No, that's crazy. All right, let's see who else we got here today. Larry, that was funny. Laugh out loud. I wrote 2 checks last weekend for 2 hobby club memberships, placed them U.S. mail. I'm an old timer. I straddle both worlds. You straddle both worlds. I love it, man. I love it. Just thinking about like you walk up to the checkout and you're like, write one like, so what would they actually do? It'd be kind of funny to see. Grip of disposition. Thanks for being here today. Been a little bit. Hopefully you are doing well. We've got Bitcoin Trading Man. What's up? Yeah, it's 0% on hand, man. It is rough. It is rough. Thanks for being here, man. Who else we got in the house? Great stuff. All right, cool. Listen, y'all. I appreciate you being part of here at the show here. Check out the links in the description of the video. If you like this far in the video, smash those likes. I do appreciate it. Lets the algorithms know this was worth other people watching. And if you're not part of the Patreon, give it a check. Check it out. I take the gloves off. I really do. You know, some of you know what I mean. Anyways, thanks for being here. Talk to you all later. Y'all have a blessed rest of the day. Take it easy.